to a child, first and foremost. Second off, if you ever look at my kids, they've never been touched, and they never will be. I don't believe in violence.
That is the line we opened on. I don't believe in violence. The day before Kirsty Flood said this, she typed into a Google search bar, "What does it mean to have a sudden urge to beat a child that's not yours?"
It's difficult, and I know sometimes it's easy just to lose your cool and things happen, and I get it. I just need to know.
But I would never lose my cool on that level. I would never lose my cool on that level. I don't even have that type of hatred in my heart.
I don't think it's a hatred thing. I think maybe things just get out of hand.
I mean, literally, the only thing I could think of, and this is like far-fetched, but I know Harper would have probably came and told me, unless they were, just playing and Harper just kind of played big sister and handled it herself or whatever, but, maybe Grace jumped on her.
2 new explanations entered the room in 15 seconds. Her 3-year-old daughter handled it herself, or the dog jumped on her. Hold these. They are not the slide. The slide was the explanation she walked into the room with. The dog and Harper are explanations she is constructing in real time. The slide was prepared. These are improvised. Improvised explanations multiply when prepared ones aren't holding.
And the only thing is that I could think of is that in the hallway, vinyl, it's, there is absolutely nothing that I would ever do to a child, first and foremost. I don't believe in violence.
This is Kirsty Flood. She is 29 years old. She is a babysitter. And approximately 18 hours before that line was recorded, a 2-year-old child died in her care. 24 hours before that recording, Kirsty Flood typed 4 phrases into Google. They were entered within a single 60-second window. The first was, "I hit my child and feel guilty." The next was, "What does it mean to have a sudden urge to beat a child that's not yours?" The third was, "What type of people enjoy abusing other people's children?" The fourth was, "Why do people abuse?" In the next 90 minutes of recorded footage, Kirsty will be asked to explain how a 2-year-old in her care sustained a fractured skull, a bleeding brain, and lacerations to 3 internal organs. She will explain that the injuries were caused by a slide, by her 3-year-old daughter, by the family dog, by a stepfather who was not present that day, and then, on camera, by a ghost. She will do this without knowing that her phone is about to be seized, without knowing what is on the home security camera in her own living room, and without knowing that the child she is talking about is already dead.
Ghosts.
No, I think it's just...
No, it was ghosts.
It was some flyer mob or something.
It was, okay.
There is a sentence in the case file that does not appear in any newspaper coverage. It comes from Kristen, Fallon's mother, describing how Kirsty Flood entered her life. She said, "I was strung out. I was homeless. I wouldn't listen to anybody. She was the one person I listened to." 5 years before her daughter died, Fallon Fidley was rescued by Kirsty Flood, the friend who took her to detox, the friend who pulled her out of heroin. 4 days a week, for the next 5 years, while Kristen worked to rebuild her life, Kirsty watched Fallon. The friendship was the foundation of Kristen's recovery. Fallon was the recovery's first proof. On the morning of December 9th, 2020, Kristen would later say she remembered her husband asking her one question. He asked, "Should we just go get her?" She said no. She said Fallon will be fine. Fallon was dropped off at Kirsty's apartment in Sandy Springs, Georgia at 6 o'clock that morning. Kirsty's boyfriend, Jeffrey Myers, was at work. Kirsty's own children, 3-year-old Harper and 8-month-old Holden, were home. Across the next 15 and a half hours, by Kirsty's own account, Fallon ate cereal bars, played with Harper, went to a public playground called Morgan Falls Park, and came home for dinner. At 9:20 in the evening, Kirsty placed a call to Fallon's parents. She told them Fallon was hurt and unresponsive. Paramedics were already on scene. By the time Kristen and her husband Cameron reached the hospital, the treating physicians had completed an evaluation. The medical findings on file were these: a fractured skull, a swollen, bleeding brain, internal bleeding into the abdominal cavity, lacerations to the liver, the spleen, and the colon, bruising across the head and face. The medical determination was acute trauma. Acute means recent. Acute means the injuries occurred within hours, not days. Fallon was declared brain dead before midnight. She would not survive. By the time Fallon's heart stopped, Kirsty Flood and Jeffrey Myers were already in police custody. Both had agreed to be interviewed. Both had been placed in separate interrogation rooms. The footage you are about to watch was recorded by the Sandy Springs Police Department on the night of December 9, 2020. There has been no editing of the conversation itself. What plays is what the room saw. Detectives walk into Kirsty Flood's interrogation tonight with 5 categories of evidence in hand. Hold all 5 while you watch. First, the medical file. The trauma surgeon's report rules out any single impact accident as a viable cause. A fall from a slide does not fracture a skull and rupture a liver simultaneously. The injuries on Fallon Fidley's body are consistent with sustained, repeated, severe abuse. Second, the timeline. Acute injuries means recent injuries. The window between Fallon's healthy drop-off at 6 in the morning and her arrival at the emergency room 15.5 hours later is the trauma window. For nearly all of it, Kirsty Flood was the only adult present. Third, a Wise brand surveillance camera mounted in Kirsty's living area. It records continuously to an SD card and to a cloud account on Kirsty's phone. Detectives have not yet seen the footage. Kirsty has. Fourth, Kristen's statement. Fallon was dropped off uninjured. The bruises on her forehead, her face, her body were not present at 6 that morning. And fifth, the cellular phone in Kirsty's pocket. It is currently the only object in the room she trusts. By the end of tonight, it will be the object that convicts her.
All right, Kirsty. This is my partner, Detective Pearson.
Hello, Mr. Pearson.
Hello. You doing later? I think it's so stuck being here.
Yeah, I'm already got. I'm always hot time. I'm wearing stuff there.
Yeah.
So.
Gotcha. Well, it's hard because like right now we're in the weather where you can get cold.
You can wear a sweatshirt and shorts at the same time.
Yeah, it's so jacked up right now. Sorry, my notes are all jacked up right now because it's been one of those days, unfortunately.
This is the baseline. Light. Easy. She matches his cadence. His jacked up becomes her jacked up. She corrects his partner's name into a joke. There is nothing wrong with any of this on its face. People in interrogation rooms are anxious. Casual speech is normal. Hold this baseline. Every behavioral shift across the next 90 minutes will be measured against the woman talking right now.
How's she doing?
She's obviously upset. I mean, I don't think there's any way to not be right now, not be upset. But she's upset. I met
Cameron,
met him as too. I reserve judgment because that's what I do.
Listen to that last sentence again. She has just been brought in for questioning about a child who died in her care, and she has volunteered, unprompted, that she reserves judgment about Cameron. Cameron is the stepfather. Cameron was not at the apartment today. Cameron is, in this moment, being introduced into the room as a possible alternative.
Okay, can I ask you one question?
Mm-hmm.
How come they did this so fast?
Did what so fast?
Just let her go.
What do you mean let her go?
They won't let it fight.
She's still at the hospital.
She's okay.
I mean, she's not doing okay, but she's still at the hospital.
What did I do? They were gonna tell me she was gone, and
Who said that?
the officer.
No, she's not. She's not gone. Her heart's still beating.
Why did you tell me that?
Honestly, probably just miscommunication.
Watch what the detective just chose not to say. Kirsty has just told him that another officer told her Fallon was already dead. The detective's response is probably just miscommunication. He is making a deliberate choice. Fallon is, in fact, dead. He knows it. He could correct her. He doesn't. The reason, as long as Kirsty believes Fallon is alive, the calculation in her head is how do I look concerned, not how do I survive a murder charge. The lie keeps her relaxed. The relaxed version of her is the version that talks.
Heart's still beating. Heart's still beating.
God has a plan then.
3 words. God has a plan. Said about a child she has spent the day beating to death. said while believing that child is still alive. Hold the phrasing.
I typically watch Fallon 4 days a week, roughly. I've been with my company for 6 years, so I'm getting paid unemployment to stay home. I'm also in school for cybersecurity. Me and her mom, we've been through a lot together. I helped her get sober a long time ago, quite some time ago. I was reached out to saying that she was homeless and, strung out and, she wouldn't listen to anybody. And I was just like that one person that kind of just like spoke to her, that she listened to, right? So it took me to detox. So I have a soft spot for Fallon. That's why I charge $125 a week on a night. And that's nothing if, the price isn't daycare.
It's not expensive at all.
No, and I do it because she's a friend, and I do it because I love Fallon.
This is not a lie. This is the truest thing she will say tonight. The friendship she just described is real. 5 years ago, Kirsty Flood walked Kristen Fidley into detox. That history is the foundation of why Fallon was here today. The detective is allowing this story to land. He is allowing it to land because every later lie will be measured against the woman who claims, in this moment, to love this child.
Long story short, he drops Fallon off this morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. And she stays, she goes in the room with Harper. She plays with Harper for a decent amount of the day. Her and Harper, my daughter, are like best friends. So for breakfast, she had the cereal bar, lunch, cheese puffs. They had some goldfish, graham cracker, chocolate ones. She was eating fine. She only eats junk food, right? And at my house, we incorporate vegetables.
Notice the precision of the food log. Cereal bar, cheese puffs, goldfish, graham crackers. The detective has not yet asked her about the injuries. He is asking her about the day, and she is anchoring the day in mundane detail. Mundane detail is what people remember when they have nothing to hide. Watch this strategy. She will use it again.
Okay, so we get in the car. Oregon Falls is what? A mile and a half from my house.
Yeah, barely.
We were the last people there.
Right before dark, though?
Yeah, right when it was getting, starting to get dark.
Probably 5:30-ish.
Ish, we started leaving. I have on my phone. My phone died when I was out there. But I have 426, how's my girl? So we're about to go to Morgan Falls. My phone is about to die.
2 facts she has just placed in the room. Her phone died at the park, and she was the last person there.
I put both the babies on the swing, my babies, on the bucket swings. And then she goes down the slide, falls off, and when you go down a slide and you drop, that's what happened. And I was telling him she dropped, but I don't know if that had anything to do with anything. You know what I mean?
Did she cry at all?
When she's such the most quiet baby, and that is alarming in situations like at home.
First mention of the slide. The slide will be referenced 6 more times across the next 90 minutes. Each version will be slightly different. Hold this version. She fell off a slide. She didn't cry. Kirsty does not yet know that the medical report rules out a slide as a viable cause. She is offering the slide because she expects the slide to work.
And that is what has been an issue for me, but you can't go to a mother and say, hey, the man you just married, I understand his past, but, maybe look into that a little bit better, or maybe not leave him with him all day on Friday.
Yeah.
Like I said, I wouldn't even let them babysit my children.
She is back to Cameron. Second time in 20 minutes. The detective never asked. Cameron was not in the apartment today. But Kirsty is establishing him, carefully, with concern, as if reluctant, as the alternative explanation. She is not yet accusing him. She is making sure he is in the room.
Fallon came right out the room, came and gave me a hug, because that was the first time that I had seen her since I'd been home. Really seen her, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She was fine. She seemed fine. She gave me a hug. sat down at the table, and we tried to get her to eat, and she wouldn't eat, man.
So we step outside for 5 minutes, whatever, 10 minutes, smoke stay, I don't even know how long it was, not long at all. Go back in there and check on her, and she's looking like this. And I'm like, what is that about?
This is the first version of when Fallon stopped responding. According to Kirsty, Fallon walked out of the bedroom, hugged her, sat at the table, refused to eat, and then, while Kirsty stepped outside for 5 or 10 minutes, lapsed into a state Kirsty cannot describe. The autopsy says Fallon's skull was fractured. The autopsy says her liver was lacerated. A child does not walk out of a bedroom and hug someone with those injuries. The version Kirsty is offering requires Fallon's injuries to have happened in the 10-minute window Kirsty was outside smoking. Watch what this story has just done. It has just placed Kirsty out of the room for the only window when the trauma could have occurred.
I saw her asleep. I saw her napping.
Yeah.
And then she cooked dinner, and then when she made dinner, it was like 8:30, she yelled, "Fallon, come eat." She yelled it a few times. Fallon came right out the room, came and gave me a hug.
2 suspects, 2 rooms, the same hug. Either both stories are true, or both stories were rehearsed.
The injuries that this child has, according to the doctor, are acute, which means they have just recently happened.
There was absolutely no way that just happened.
So these injuries this child has are not consistent with what you're telling me happened. The injuries this child has are from some severe abuse or injury.
How long have you had her today? Just as a point of reference?
Oh my, I can't even believe. How exactly? How would that even have happened?
You tell me, because we weren't there.
Hear that pronoun. We weren't there. The detective just told her the injuries happened recently. She just answered with we. There has been no we today. There has been Kirsty, alone with 3 children, until Jeffrey came home from work at 6. The we she is reaching for is a we that includes someone else. Anyone else. The pronoun is the first crack.
Were you the only one with the child today?
I was around a bunch of people at the park.
No, when did you get
The child, were you caring for the child by yourself today?
I always care for her by myself, always.
Okay.
Every day. There's never been an issue, ever.
That answer just locked the timeline. She is the only adult who had Fallon today. She has just confirmed it on tape. Whatever happened to Fallon, she is now formally the only adult present when it could have happened.
There is absolutely nothing that I would ever do to a child, first and foremost. Second off, if you ever look at my kids, they've never been touched, and they never will be. I don't believe in violence.
That is the line we opened on. I don't believe in violence. The day before Kirsty Flood said this, she typed into a Google search bar, "What does it mean to have a sudden urge to beat a child that's not yours?"
It's difficult, and I know sometimes it's easy just to lose your cool and things happen, and I get it. I just need to know.
But I would never lose my cool on that level. I would never lose my cool on that level. I don't even have that type of hatred in my heart.
I don't think it's a hatred thing. I think maybe things just get out of hand.
I mean, literally, the only thing I could think of, and this is like far-fetched, but I know Harper would have probably came and told me, unless they were, just playing and Harper just kind of played big sister and handled it herself or whatever, but, maybe Grace dumped on her.
2 new explanations entered the room in 15 seconds. Her 3-year-old daughter handled it herself, or the dog jumped on her. Hold these. They are not the slide. The slide was the explanation she walked into the room with. The dog and Harper are explanations she is constructing in real time. The slide was prepared. These are improvised. Improvised explanations multiply when prepared ones aren't holding.
And the only thing is that I could think of is that in the hallway, you know, vinyl, it's vinyl, it's, you know, it's shit. The whole apartment is shit. I mean, you see how I'm under a whole court case with them because of how it's living and how dangerous it is.
A 2-year-old fractured her own skull, ruptured her own liver, lacerated her own colon, and bled into her own brain by tripping on a vinyl floor. Inside an apartment Kirsty has just blamed her landlord for. The defense has expanded to a list. The slide, the dog, Harper, the floor, Cameron. The next item on this list is going to be a ghost.
Sometimes I close my door because my kid she'll walk in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. You know what I mean? And yeah, I can admit to that. No,
About closing your door.
Yeah, I could admit to closing my door today, yeah. For like at least an hour.
That is an admission. The door was closed for at least an hour, with Fallon on one side of it and Kirsty on the other. That sentence will appear in the trial transcript.
My concern is you're the only one that was with them all day. And these injuries happen. And we're saying we have no idea how they happen.
Like, if I could give you an answer right now that would just solve the problem, I would, but I don't have an answer for you.
She has just abandoned the slide, the dog, the daughter, and the floor in a single sentence. Asked to explain how a child sustained a fractured skull in her soul care for 15.5 hours, her answer is, I don't have an answer for you. The defense is now empty. What comes next has to be improvised from scratch.
So, I'm on the floor. The reason why I'm right here is because I'm on the floor with my infant. I always bring like a little picnic thing, snacks, blanket, you know, going on. And you got 3, you try to monitor it all. I also have live footage in my home.
Okay. Do you have access to that?
I do.
Okay. How do we get access to that?
I have an SD card I could find for you probably. Like, in it, I could pull it out. It's basically the, whole...
Read this carefully. The detective just asked how to access the camera footage. Kirsty did not say no. She did not ask for a lawyer. She did not invoke any right at all. She volunteered the SD card. She volunteered the app on her phone. She is opening the door to the room's only continuous record of the day, of her own initiative, on tape. Whatever she believes is on this footage, she believes it will help her.
There's me.
And here she is.
Making plates.
And there goes Fallon, giving them a hug.
Yep, see, I told you. Took her back again. See, it's resilient. Like, I tried. That should show you right there how much I care about this kid. I'm like, I don't want you to go to bed hungry.
Watch this. She is talking the detective through her own surveillance footage. She is pointing out the moments she wants him to notice. See how much I care about this kid. She is functioning, in this moment, as her own defense lawyer presenting her own exhibit. The footage is hers. The narration is hers. The framing is hers. She is in complete control of the camera. Everything she shows the detective will later show the prosecutor.
Ocean?
Did you see that?
Go back.
Ghost.
No, I think it's just...
No, it was ghost.
It was some flyer mob or something.
It was, okay.
Pause this. This is the title. This is what the audience clicked for. A woman is sitting in an interrogation room next to the detective who is investigating the death of a child she killed today. They are reviewing her own surveillance footage. Something flickers on the screen. She laughs and says, "Ghost." Hold the laugh. Hold the casualness. Hold the second when she corrects herself. Or a moth. The defense list now has the slide, the dog, Harper, the floor, Cameron, and a ghost.
No, when you say cute, you know, what does that mean?
They happened recently,
What is recently?
like today.
So it could have been this morning.
Like how early this morning do you think?
Before she came to my house.
She has just made the move that ends the interrogation. She has shifted the trauma window from, "It happened in my house," to, "It happened before she came to my house." The detective's answer is going to make this impossible. He has the medical record. The trauma is acute. Acute means within hours of arrival at the ER. Fallon arrived in Kirsty's care 15.5 hours before the ER. The trauma fits inside that window. It does not fit before it.
Maybe you need to think about you're the only person with her, and she's injured like this.
Exactly why my 2 kids are 100% healthy. Have you ever thought about that? You ever thought about that?
Yeah, I thought about it.
Okay, then think about it a little bit harder.
Her own children are healthy, so she didn't do this. That is the argument. The argument is that the absence of injury on her own children proves the absence of capacity for injury in her. There is, in fact, evidence on her phone right now that contradicts this. The search history. She does not know that yet.
She's got bruises all over her body.
Stop.
She's got bruises all over her head. The external part of her head is swollen. She has bruises literally all around her head. I can show you pictures.
So that picture you showed me just a few minutes ago, she doesn't look like that right now.
She is bad.
You think it's the blood rushing to her head and all that stuff?
She is theorizing about blood rushing to the head. To explain bruises that, in the photograph the detective is about to produce, are clearly not from blood pooling. She is doing this in real time, on tape, while the detective tells her her hypothesis is wrong.
Look at her nose. So let's look at that. Look at her nose. Look at her forehead. All right?
That's blood.
That is not blood. That's a fresh bruise.
Those blood clots. Those are blood clots, and you're not a doctor. Just to let you know.
This is the first time in the recording the detective drops his low-status presentation. He has been apologetic. He has been deferential. My notes are jacked up. Sorry, it's been one of those days. Now, you're not a doctor. Just to let you know. The mask is off. He is no longer collecting information. He is closing.
She came to get the key to lock up the house.
Why?
Because we served a search warrant at your house.
For what?
Because it's a high possibility this child was injured at your home.
That sentence reframes everything that came before it. She did not know about the search warrant. Officers were already in her apartment before she sat down in this room. The Wise camera she just gave the detective access to is going to be physically secured tonight. The defense list, slide, dog, daughter, floor, Cameron, ghost, is going to be measured item by item against everything that camera recorded.
I have helped her mother, and I've been there for her, and I've done all of this, and you're gonna sit here and you're gonna tell me, do you think I hurt this little girl?
I don't know what happened with this little girl. I just know she was with you, and now she's injured to the point where she might not make it.
Don't do this to me. Don't ruin my life.
I'm not ruining your life.
No, you're on the cusp. In the midst of getting my entire record cleared from 2000, back in the day, 2010.
Okay.
I have busted my ass in life to get to where I'm at right now.
Read what just happened. Asked whether she hurt this child, her answer was about her own record being cleared, her own history of legal trouble, her own life being on the cusp of being ruined. Fallon's name does not appear in the response. Fallon is not in the room. Kirsty Flood is in the room.
I can't even believe this. No, I'm not okay. They're trying to f me up. Yes. He's in the other room. They're trying to f my life up. They're trying to f my life up. I'm like, so can I go? Can I get my keys? Can I go get my kids? Can I go do this? He's like, we'll let you know in a minute. We'll let you know in a minute. I'm like, are you taking me to jail? Like, are you about to ruin my f***ing life? They don't know. She's in critical condition. The other cop told me she was dead.
Are you actually on the phone with someone?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
What is this?
This is a search warrant.
For what?
We're gonna seize your phone.
What?
Yep.
You can't. What?
Yep.
It's a valid search warrant, so
Valid
I'm going to
search
judge. So we need to take your time.
So how
Here's
does...
the deal. I just called the doctor, and Fallon is dead.
Wow.
She's gone.
Wow.
Her injuries were that bad that they couldn't save her.
Hold the response. Wow, she's gone. That is what she said. There is no second sentence. There is no question about how, or when, or whether she is sure. Earlier in this recording, told the same news by an officer in passing, Kirsty pushed back. Her heart's still beating. Why do you tell me that? She fought for the lie when she thought the lie was wrong. She accepts the truth without resistance.
I have a psychologist appointment tomorrow. Do you not understand that?
8 seconds after being told the child is dead, this is what is on her mind. The psychologist appointment.
Kirsty, just swing over here this way. Just move your legs out this way.
Why?
Because I gotta put this on you. Okay?
Why?
Because
I have not. No. You're not about to jam me up right now without. No. I never gave you any information about my lawyer. So you can't detain me.
Yeah, we can. You're under arrest.
For what?
You're under arrest.
For what? For what? Y'all actually just entrap me, is what you just did.
It's actually not called a trap.
That is entrapment, because Officer Myers just said I would not be getting locked up the minute I walk in here to get my phone. That's entrapment. I know my laws.
Well, you obviously don't.
That's entrapment. He literally just said he would not be locking me up. That's what he just said. And my children are at home.
Her last sentence to the camera. My children are at home here. 5 years ago, she pulled Kristen Fidley out of heroin. Tonight, she stood across from Kristen's daughter's last hours of life and built a defense around a slide, a dog, a daughter, a floor, a stepfather, and a ghost. The first words she said into the room were, "I don't believe in violence." The last words were, "My children are at home here." In neither sentence does Fallon Fidley appear. When officers examined Kirsty's phone, they found 4 searches typed within 60 seconds the day before Fallon's death. I hit my child and feel guilty. What does it mean to have a sudden urge to beat a child that's not yours? What type of people enjoy abusing other people's children? Why do people abuse? They were the last evidence the case needed. On March 18, 2024, 3 years and 3 months after Fallon Fidley died, Kirsty Flood pleaded guilty to malice murder, felony murder, aggravated battery, first and second-degree cruelty to children, false statements, and tampering with evidence. She was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Jeffrey Myers pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. He was sentenced to 15 years. If this kind of analysis is what you're looking for, subscribing means you'll see the next one, so subscribe now.